Welcome to this session on nomograms and tabulations in designing dosage regimens. In this video, we'll break down how clinicians use nomograms and tabulated data to customize drug doses for safe and effective therapy. This tutorial explains each concept in a simple and practical way so you can easily apply it in pharmacotherapy. Introduction to nomograms. Nomograms act as ready reference tools that simplify dosage calculations. Instead of solving complex equations each time, clinicians can refer to diagrams that incorporate population pharmacokinetic data. These tools become especially important when dosing needs to be modified based on patient-specific factors like age, weight, body composition, or kidney function. Why nomograms are used? Nomograms are widely used because they save time and enhance safety. Many drug manufacturers include nomograms or dosing tables in product information to guide clinicians in selecting an initial regimen. These tools help reduce miscalculations and allow quick decision-making, especially in busy clinical settings. Role of physiologic parameters. One of the most important uses of nomograms is adjusting doses based on renal function. Parameters like serum creatinine and creatinine clearance help indicate how efficiently kidneys eliminate drugs. Since many medications are cleared renally, a higher creatinine level often means reduced clearance, requiring a lower dose. Example: aminoglycosides. A classic example is aminoglycoside antibiotics such as tobramycin. These drugs depend heavily on renal clearance for elimination. If the kidneys aren't functioning well, the drug accumulates and may cause toxicity. That's why manufacturers provide nomograms showing how to adjust tobramycin dose based on the patient's creatinine level. Empirical dosage regimens. Sometimes, a clinician must prescribe a drug even when pharmacokinetic data for that specific patient are unavailable. In such cases, empirical regimens are chosen. These are based on clinical experience, past patient observations, and average responses seen in similar populations. Individualizing dosage regimens. Designing an ideal dosing plan is a step-by-step process. First, clinicians choose an initial dose. Then they collect blood samples to estimate the patient's actual PK parameters. Finally, based on the measured concentrations, they refine the dosage regimen until desired therapeutic levels are achieved. Step 1. Initial dosage design. The first step is selecting an initial dose. This may be taken directly from manufacturer guidelines, which are typically based on average adult patients. Alternatively, clinicians may use adjusted PK parameters that incorporate patient characteristics like age, weight, or organ function. Step 2. Estimating patient-specific PK. To understand how a particular patient handles a drug, blood samples are taken after giving the initial dose. These samples help determine parameters like clearance and half-life. Often, a patient's true values differ from what population averages predict. Step 3. Adjusting dosage regimen. After measuring actual drug concentrations, clinicians decide whether adjustments are necessary. If levels match expected ranges, the regimen is continued. If not, the dose or dosing interval is modified. Monitoring continues until optimal therapeutic concentrations are achieved for safety and effectiveness. Summary. In summary, nomograms and dosage tables simplify complex pharmacokinetic calculations and are essential in adjusting doses for patients with variable physiology. They are especially valuable in drugs with narrow therapeutic windows and in conditions like renal impairment. Thank you for watching this tutorial. If you found it helpful, please like the video, share it with your classmates, and subscribe to the channel for more pharma-focused learning sessions.